Blindsided, I trusted, fell for you. What a stupid thing to do. Blindsided, high hopes, but they fell away the moment you lied to me. Misguided, led astray, trusted too easy. Blindsided, strung out on the smallest string, had me questioning everything. I don't know where I am now. go now? How do I hear your voice?
Maybe I ain't lost my way. Maybe you ain't gone too far. I had nothing left to say. We had left ourselves in the dark. So tell me this, if we left the piece where they fell, would we have a lot to lose from lying to ourselves? All the times you said to me, the feeling that you felt, we lost it. Can we get back the love we had? Get back the love we had? Or are we in love with what we lack? Get back. Get back the love we had. Get back the love we had. Or are we in love with what we lack? Get back. Maybe I ain't lost my way. Maybe you ain't gone too far. I had nothing left to say. We had left ourselves in the dark. Can we get back the love we had? Get back the love we had? Or are we in love with what we lack? Get back.
Screens
But just know the second that you close your eyes, I'm bringing you back to life. I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. I'm bringing you back to life. Why do I want you back? Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. I'm bringing you back to life. Hearts that coded, no one's home. You're scattered all alone, can't do it on your own. You're scared that all of your screams will fall silent, but just know the second that you close your eyes, don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you? I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you? I'm bringing you back to life. That coded, no one's home. You're scattered all alone, can't do it on your own. You're scared that all of your screams will fall silent, but just know the second that you close your eyes, I'm bringing you back to life. I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. The second that you close your eyes, I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you? I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you? I'm bringing you back to life.
Hello and welcome back to the Dust2 India Masters. We're on edition 14 and I'm your host, caster, commentator, and man behind all the action you're going to see over the next few hours. backpackbrain, happy to bring you the action once again, and we've got quite an interesting set of matches coming up for you today. Now, usually we see a matchup like this, God's Reign versus True Rippers. It's usually reserved for a grand final, but today we have the pleasure of seeing them clash in this semi-final, and we'll be covering God's Reign versus True Rippers as our semi-final game. Now, the other semi-final is, of course, worth noting. It's Starboys versus Victoria Sumis, and this is the first time we've had a non-Indian nationality team. We have a Pakistani team playing in that other semi-final. So looking forward to seeing what that result plays out as. In terms of that result, I do expect Victoria Sumis to take that victory and meet us in the grand final later on today. But if we're going to cover what's in front of us right now, True Rippers versus God's Reign has its own set of quirks and unique things to talk about. So let's get started. Now, obviously, God's Reign have been repeat attenders and victors of 1xBet Masters. They've been regular champions, and everybody's fairly familiar with the lineup by now. But if you're here for the first time, if you're here watching Indian Counter-Strike and you're not sure exactly what you're looking for, let me give you a quick little rundown. So we've got Bharvi as the IGL, known as a bit. He's got good fragging power. It's not necessarily a huge tactical team, but they do have their individual moments, and that's how they manage to eke out their victories. And the deadly duo of Finn and Revan, Rifler and Orpa, are, of course, exactly what you expect. The best players in the Indian scene at the moment, as far as I can tell, and it hasn't really changed that much, although other players are, of course, catching up. And then you have R2B2, who's kind of a role player who play these anchor positions. I think you're very familiar with seeing him on B on Inferno, for example. And he's got his own impact rounds, but I wouldn't look to him to carry an entire game. And they've got Inhuman as a stand-in player. Fired Up has elected not to show up. And Inhuman is no stranger to being a stand-in rather for this God's Reign squad. He's stood in for them on multiple occasions. So if anything, this shouldn't really affect their chances too much. So it's not as if it's an emergency substitution. This is what they knew they were coming into this tournament with. So more attention should be given to True Rippers, though, because True Rippers have recently made roster changes. They initially already made the move to get Crunchy towards their team in favor of some of the other players. Players like McGill's have gotten benched, and now McGill's is back. And now they've also gotten rid of Daymake for Anastasis, the Malaysian, I believe. Yes, Malaysian Orpa. Not that much experience in the world stage of Counter-Strike, but looking forward to see what he can bring. Crunchy, on the other hand, I'm more familiar with, being a member of the Australian scene. Crunchy has been playing in the local Australian scene for a little while now, on teams like Archon, sort of in the, I guess if you want to call it a tier 2, tier 3 sort of Australian tier team. Nowhere near as good as the, top 3 or top 2 sort of teams in terms of you have FlyQuest or Greyhound as they were before. You have the Bad News Kangaroo / Vertex sort of core, and then you have the Rooster core. And those three are definitely the best in the region. And I'd say Archon are somewhere in between, 6, 7, fairly regular mainstays of that sort of tier of Australian team. And that's where Crunchy comes from. And Crunchy's been doing quite a good job. I'd say he's been one of the best players, or even their best player in their previous tournaments. Now, they did play in the Sky Esports Championship, and they did come out in last place, although they very nearly beat the Mongols and played fairly close against Bleed, all things considered. Best of ones, of course, but it's something that you can never count them out for. You have to give them credit for at least making it close and getting a couple of rounds here and there, considering their inexperience, all things considered. And they've also gotten rid of Crazy Gamer, which is important to know because Crazy Gamer has been the IGL of this squad for quite a while, as far as I'm aware. So looking forward to seeing. I'm not sure if it's actually public or not. Who's the IGO now that Crazy Gamer is no longer playing? Although logic would dictate that it would be either McGill's or somebody else. And it also appears, yes, Rossi is now the IGL. A defaulter was the IGL before, but Crazy Game was not the IGL before. Very interesting. So, in terms of that discussion, I actually, and you know what, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I actually believe True Ripper should take this one because I think Crunchy is shown to be a fairly quality player. I think Inhuman he's not been a huge liability in terms of, dropping terrible ratings, but I don't think that Inhuman has got what it takes to carry this team in any way, and they're gonna need a bit more carry than I think what they have right now, God's Reign. And I'm also a big believer in giving a new roster a chance in this sort of situation. And they make, for an imported player, you want to get an imported player for their firepower or for some injection of tactical prowess, right? And Daymake never really had that explosive firepower. He never carried too hard on the AWP, and if you're going to have an AWP, you're going to want them to carry, or at least have the potential to carry. And that's what Anastasis... Anastasis? There's no T in there. Very interesting. So that's what he's looking to do. Now, I also haven't seen the potential from him, but I'm not going to count him out before that chance is given. And the rest of the players are known quantities. McGill's is actually fairly experienced in terms of the Indian scene at this point, and I've seen a lot of great rounds from him. Not only in True Rippers before this, but also I think he had a standard stint on God's Reign. If I'm remembering this correctly, he did play a few games for God's Reign, and I believe, yes, they played the close qualifier for the major, and they didn't end up making it out of there. But being that as it may, neither team is making it to the major, no Indian team is, and they've got to work hard for the next major cycle to get that level up and prove that they do deserve that sort of slot. But up until that point, they'll be competing on a stage like this for $1,500 prize pool in this tournament. The winner gets $1,000 dues. And no doubt they'll be looking to prove that this roster change was the right decision. God's Reign, on the other hand, for a while now, they've had nothing to prove. They've been victors of maybe a couple in a row at this point, if I'm going to check the specific record. For example, last month in the 13th edition, they did win over Victoria Sumiston Grand Final. And then if you check the edition before, I'm pretty sure they also won against Carnival. And then if you check the edition before, God's Reign are also victors against True Rippers. And then you check the edition before, and you see the story kind of continues like this. Is God's Reign, they've won every single one. Let's see how far back we have to go. True Rippers, the last time a team that wasn't God's Reign won the Dust2IN Masters was April 29th, when it was True Rippers taking it over Carnival. And I think that was because God's Reign didn't even participate, if I'm recalling it correctly. And the God's Reign won the one right before that. So God's Reign are really, really just dominant here. And actually, since I've been the commentator ever since the 10th edition, I'm pretty sure, this means that I've never seen anybody apart from God's Reign win this tournament. So looking forward to seeing if that curse or that trajectory gets changed today. And I actually expect it to. I'm going to give True Rippers the edge in this tournament to win it all. I think no matter who wins out of the other semi-final, Victoria, Simis, or Starboys, I think either one of these teams should take them. And I'm actually, honestly, I'm the biggest believer in Crunchy as an individual to have what it takes. Because while the lower-level Australian scene is not necessarily, it's not the highest level of competition, it's still fairly competitive compared to maybe what the Indian scene can offer at the moment. And, having had experience watching both and maybe even playing in a bit of the Australian scene, not at any high level, but just seeing what you can see, I think that there is a lot of potential in the Australian scene, and the Indian scene is working very hard to bridge that gap and raise the level. And you're gonna see more import players like this in the future, I believe, because it's a no-brainer to just have one or two players, fly them over to India, give them a good time, give them some nice food, accommodation, and tell them to, share what they know about CS2 and then frag out a little bit. That's how you're going to get the ceiling raised for some of these Indian teams. And I'm a big believer in that. But of course, no competition is complete without map vetoes, and True Rippers and God's Reign are no strangers to playing against each other. So when we're discussing map vetoes, I think it's important to discuss the history of what the maps have been up until this point, right? So if you look at that previous matchup, it was an Ancient Anubis Inferno. If you look at that previous matchup, it was an Inferno Anubis Ancient. So this is probably what we're going to see again. But you go a little bit further back, there was a nuke one time, a singular time in the Sky Esports Championship Class Qualifier. But I don't think we'll be seeing that. I think every single other time it's been in some combination of Ancient, Inferno, and Anubis. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see again. There's no reason to believe anything else is the case. Now, True Rippers in the head-to-head definitely come out a bit worse for wear, just because the recent two times it's been God's Reign to take them, but race of form means a little bit less. Time has passed. It's been a little while since they've played each other in an official, although I guess there may be even officials that don't get shown up on HLTV, like qualifiers and such, that may skew the results and the biases, of course. That's the thing with the pro scene, that you never know why a team makes the decision that they do, for example, to make a map choice or a veto decision. We often see the stats that we see and we wonder why a team ever would consider even doing so, right? Why a team would pick a certain map, but you don't know the information that they know behind the scenes. Maybe they've been practicing a lot, and with a certain map it just doesn't really hit the same. But we don't know that since we're not in the prac rooms, so it may be a situation like that. We may see a new map, and I was very happy to see Nuke, because Nuke is a map that we don't often get to see. It's been a lot. It's a lot of the same-ish maps. We don't see really any Vertigo. We don't see any Nuke, and it's a lot of Mirage, Inferno. Nowadays we see Dust2 because Dust2 is back in the pool. And so that's the most interesting decision. Could show up in the veto, actually, whether or not a team like God's Reign is going to risk anything. I think God's Reign are going to keep it simple. True Rippers, on the other hand, may look to flex their experience and diversity and pick another map. We could see something fresh from them, and that would be fun. I think that would be exactly the kind of thing that we'd all want to see as viewers. So while we wait for the veto to come in, I'm a big believer in hearing what the community has to say. So if you've got a prediction, or you've got any particular thoughts, feel free to put them either in the chat of the Dust2IN broadcast, or you can broadcast it on social media like Twitter, or I guess you'll call it X nowadays. We'll see what the community thinks. I think people are gonna really like this True Rippers roster. I'm a bit more surprised that there's not more Asian mixes in terms of roster moves. That True Rippers are gonna actually make that kind of move. Now, I do believe True Rippers as an organization do have a bit more backing behind them than God's Reign do. Just by the fact that I think their coach has just recently left them, so that may be a leveling factor. But God's Reign is still looking for a coach, I believe, and True Rippers will no doubt be looking for a coach as well if that coach has just left them. And that's definitely gonna improve their level if they can get one. I think True Rippers' rise in recent times, truly becoming a contender to God's Reign, has been because they've had a little bit of experience with that coach. Although YB, their, I guess, former coach now, has been in around the Indian scene before, so it's not a surprise that he would show up again. And maybe because of that, has less experience in European teams and such. But every little bit helps. I think that's the most important part. And so We're going to talk about the potential grand final matchup. If it's True Rippers versus Victorious Swimmers, I do expect True Rippers to win it all. And I will be very excited for that to be the case. It's been a long time since anybody but Ghost Rain has won. So we'd be all waiting for that potential future that awaits us over the next couple of hours. Won't be too long before we get into the games now. Of course, we're waiting for the map video. We're waiting for a whole host of information like that. And I'm happy to announce, or rather confirm, that our first map is going to be Mirage. Mirage picked by True Rippers, Anubis picked by God's Reign, and the decider being a little bit of Inferno. And looks like we'll be getting into the game fairly shortly, so look forward to Mirage. I think Mirage should be a pretty good win for True Rippers. Mirage, very comfortable map for Crunchy as well. My eye is going to be on him. And I think that's gonna be where my focus is, although I do expect Anastasis to also have a lot of input. But we're looking forward to seeing what both teams have to bring on Mirage. We'll see you there very shortly. Don't go anywhere. And I believe we are live. Pistol round of God's Reign versus True Rippers. God's Reign starting on that CT side while we have True Rippers starting on that T side. This is, of course, True Rippers map pick, and I expect True Rippers to do very well on said map pick. And already the action's getting started with a kill. It's Barbie on that A side alongside Finn, and Finn, of course, getting the first tap. Maybe looking to get another as they march on into the A side, smoke over, and Finn gets taken down. Barbie's on his rotate. They got two players trapped in jungle. That's Inhuman and Revan. And in the meantime, Auto Beach has been taken out. They've got a little bit of a flank here. Default to its position is known, and they're making no secret of it. It's going to be quite tricky for him to get much impact, but that smoke may actually help him. They're going to have to spend a lot more time looking for him, and he's being very cheeky about it. But in the meantime, the CTs are taking over the entirety of the bomb site in this retake. There is a kill on Barbie, so they do have time for this, and that tap goes through. Rossi gets that tap. And the retake is completely fruitless. True Rippers take the pistol rounds. Fairly well played, great positioning, and it's a great start with their map pick. Now, I don't expect very many strange buys, is what I was going to say, but Finn, they've already decided to force buy. They got Scout, they got an MP9. It's an unorthodox choice, but if they've got a certain play that they want to go for, I'm all for it. Smoke in, players already walking out, and the Deagle already rings through Artubitu onto McGill's. That's a start. They're going to need a little bit more than that. The weapon advantage is still strongly on the side of True Rippers. All the rifles are picked up. It was just Mac 10's opportunity that was lost there. We'll see what more these rifles can find. One player spotted. So Rossi just taking care of business, shows the bomb and leaves. Now Nasasis is tasked with be the point man through connector. If they do so choose to come here. They've got an apartments lurk. It was just smoked out. We'll see if Barbie can match his teammates' efforts on the Deagle. They know his position. He tries a little bit more and it doesn't pan out. Finn is a little bit stuck here. It'd be a miracle if he can get out, although his teammates are bailing him out, and the Deagle rings true again. It's only Rossi left. All of a sudden, the round is just completely falling apart. The force buy, it's 100% successful. 3 alive. They might even pick up a full array of AK-47s. I mean, this is not how you envisioned the force buys to go. Usually, it's the T side that gets the bomb plant. They get the Mac 10, they get the Galil. It's very rare that you see a CT force buy. Not even a diffuse or any significant investment, or rather profit made from that first round. And yeah, it's the buy for them. And look at the gun difference already. I mean, True Rippers are forced to force buy. They've got really no other choice. Wet out the utility and rush B. That being said, this B rush should have a fairly good chance of success. There's only one player receiving them at the moment. Inhuman and R2B2 are going to be playing in tandem. We'll see what R2B2 sees. Not much. He smoked out an Inhuman blind and killed immediately. And that's exactly what it looks like. I was going to say it's exactly what it looks like, but these rounds are just throwing surprises one after the other. A spray, a CZ. Why would you buy a CZ? Rossi, come on, be serious. CZ is never going to work on the T side. And Anastasis is tasked with a fairly difficult task, and he doesn't get it done. I'm baffled by these rounds back to back. Usually we don't see this kind of chaos off the bat. It takes a while for the rounds to get a little bit crazy towards the end of a map maybe, but CZ on the T side trying to peak angles, that's levels of unorthodox. Even we don't get to see often. But it does end up with the God's Reign round victory. I would be surprised if True Rippers decide to double down on this force buy. It will just make more sense to go for a full buy. now that the loss bonus is ramping up a little bit. And indeed, that is the case. We'll see if these deagles can have the same kind of impact that R2 did on that first opening in that force buy. In the meantime, Finn is pushing up mid alongside his teammates. Oh, there we go. The deagle fiesta continues, but it is short-lived. Barbie getting a kill in return, not letting things get too out of hand. Keeping it simple. Not sure if they spotted the bomb. I believe if they did, it would have only been a glimpse, and now the information is a little bit delayed anyway. Basically acting on it, Revan has that orb and is tasked with the sole control of A. Not too concerned about everything, just throwing his smokes and doing his rounds, as one might say. Crunchy has the best chance of finding something here. It's going to depend on the human's timing. Timing does not favor him, and he's looked a little bit rough. Blind and killed in the first instance. Now 2 players spotted towards B. The right kind of read going on here. Crunchy basically just playing and buying time. Oh, and he steps, but he still gets the kill. He knows that there's a second player here. He picks up the rifle, going for that peek. But the bomb is trapped in connector. Do they know that the bomb is trapped in connector? They don't. And so Rossi plays time. He plays for the frags, and he almost gets 2. If he got that second, that round would have been on about 20 seconds. I mean, Crunchy's too out of position to do anything, really. He would have to get the frags, and he can't even get the first. True Rippers this round. Again, it was just too close for comfort. They managed to save the AWP again. God's Reign continually saving weapons and just barely keeping an economy afloat. But this economic damage does mean that True Rippers have a chance. All it takes is one good round and they're right back into the mix. Once again, we see Crunchy on this extremity. One of their best individual players. It's not a surprise that he does go for this sort of riskier play, but in the meantime, they're going out on mid. It's a one-on-one trade. Some nice utility damage, but nothing more than that. Mid control seceded is what I was going to say, but what is going on in this round? Players just going out and taking swings and getting one kill here and there. Barbie taking the initiative and going out on his own. Revan catches a play with his back turn. That's McGill's. Throws the Molotov, and the player respects and goes back Crunchy, not willing to risk it. The bomb is on the other side of the map. The problem with this is that Barbie is already behind him, but the secondary problem is that Barbie may assume that A is clear, and the information is given now. And it has the benefit of knowing that he is in a little bit of a gap, but Inhuman seems to be respecting it, so maybe this gap is a little bit fraudulent, but good damage. Can't get the kill. Knows where one is, guesses where the other is. He's got the right idea, gets the first kill, but can't get the second. Revan good on the trade. Great fundamentals to secure the 4th round from God's Reign. All of these rounds have been very close. I mean, you can see the finances, they speak for themselves. Everybody is buying pretty much down to 0 every single round here. God's Reign have not had a comfortable farming eco. They haven't been able to stock up money buying MP9 and mowing down a bunch of Glocks. It's been nothing like that. It's been deagle headshots and concern moments all around. Rossi, this is crazy, but he gets a lot of information for it. He knows that there's one over towards connector. He knows that there's one towards mid. Will they expect a player to be up on the rafters? I'm not sure if they will. We'll see if he gets spots out. Barbie, too many targets, doesn't get to shoot any of them at all. Gets taken down, and it's Revan and Finn who are instead going to find that impact. Blows open the smoke, gets a frag. Revan and Finn together. Firepower duo of this roster, putting together all the frags. Full house of kills in this round. And finally, something to relax and breathe over in a round, something to build your money over. But, I mean, the break is as short as the round freeze time is because they're literally right back into it with a buy. And this time we get to see Anastasis on that AWP. Where does he opt to go? How does he opt to play this round? Again, with this aggression, we see Default is going up quite forward and McGill's in middle, already dead. a lot of very aggressive defaulting from, honestly, both teams. Although this was less of a default and more of a two-man push from Gozrain, but they're actually committing to this two-man push. Revan, intuition in the right place. Nobody's there to receive him, so he will have all this information. Could even hear audio cues in top middle if they do decide to come over his way. In the meantime, R2 overall and short, spotting for a lot of angles at this moment, but he won't be caught on any of them. Inhuman is having a rough time over a B, but as long as he does his job, the rest of his team should be able to come in and clean up house. And it seems to be a walk towards B. Oh, and that jump spot comes at perhaps the right time, perhaps the wrong time. He's not in a great position for it. Whiffs the first opportunity, but does get the second frag, and his teammates are already here. Finn sprays down 2. He's got his teammate already over towards short, as has been the case the entire time. And now it's just down to Rossi. And it's Finn dominating, not even letting True Rippers get started. It's been nothing but smooth sailing for them in terms of rounds. Of course, every round has been close, but now the money is slowly starting to build up. Revan is going to be able to buy another AWP even if he loses this one, so interesting to see what's going on here. It's a bit of a semi-force sort of... Oh, no, they unbought the AKs, changing their mind in spawn still. Out towards mid they go. Standard control, but not willing to push out with the weaker weaponry. And no smoke to cover that cross. Just playing fairly slowly. Trying to walk up mid on a timing, and it seems like they've made the right call. Human takes care of that B-lurk. Revan gets that first frag, and he doesn't get the second frag. Crouch peek Tech 9 clears him out, and Bavi revealed his position. He's caught off guard again. What is going on here? R2 not in a position to get that trade frag. Spots 1, gets that kill. But he knows that some players have crossed. I don't know if Fina will definitely not be checked. This late in the round, nobody will check on the Palace. It's not something that they usually play. And that one frag is enough to put a full stop in any of the questions that have been going on in this round. Position noted. He'd be incredibly lucky to get out alive with that AWP. Basically surrounded and taken down. Oh, hold on. I do apologize. We've had the desktop audio muted. Now you get to hear the wonderful sounds of the game and not just the wonderful sounds of my voice. Finn now rocking that secondary AWP. It is a full buy. Revan getting that opening kill. And once again, I mean, Gozrain have just non-stop been dominating on firepower alone. I don't see anything really too complex in terms of tactics for Rippers either. It's just been trying to get basic mid control and seeing if they can find that kill, find that timing, and not being able to find it. I mean, it makes these rounds look very, very flat. Crunchy, the player I've been trying to highlight this entire time, has not been able to find any success on these lurks or these fringe extremity plays. And I mean, if your lurk player can't find any impact and your mid defaults aren't going well, you're just not going to have any map control at any point. and a little bit of extra Tech 9 bullets sprayed into the body of Anastasis as it becomes 8-1. The last 3 rounds are pretty much necessary for True Rippers. Even if they get 2 rounds, I don't even believe it, but an 8-4 half might be salvageable. Just about. Another straight up mid control play, it seems like. And this time they do get the kill. This time Finn is caught out already and they look to accelerate the play pretty much instantly. There are 2 players over towards A, but that smoke will nullify them for now. Deeper smoke to try and prevent connector control. We'll see how successful that is. They might just choose to walk through it. R2 commonly on the short position this time once again. And actually boosted over. Good timing for the boost. Gets the first kill, spots out more info, but doesn't fall back in a way that lets him stay alive. They should know there's another play here because it was boosted up, but Inhuman still manages to get the frag. 2v3, 1 player is known and they go for him. Already tagged down low, it's the right choice, and the B bomb side is under True Ripper's control. Just when the impetus for action is made clear to them, they finally find that frag. And I mean, you could say that it's, you know, insanity to try the same thing again and again, expecting a different result. But this time they actually get a different result. They actually go out mid and get the kill. For once, it actually works out. And this may be exactly what they need to get a little bit more confidence, get a few more frags going into the rest of the game. Revan left to save the orb. They should be good for money next round. Although, depending on how many players die, they could be on for a rough buy in the very final round, which is still something you'd look to avoid.
Terrorists win.
This time, no mid control. This time, it's looking to be a straight up A execute. Or maybe they just walk out without even throwing the smokes. It's just one smoke and they go without even waiting for it. Rossi's going straight out. First man tasked with it. And he stops in Sandwich, actually. They don't know about Barvi, and Barvi actually makes his presence very loud and clear. Gets that frag. Rossi's attempt at map control taken care of, but Crunchy and Anastasis get Revan out of the game, and Barvi is soon to follow. 3v3. 1 player is on a long flank. That's Inhuman. This time Finn spotting for that cross towards jungle. He hit in connector and he gets that frag. Still hiding. It's not the cleanest peek ever, but he does eventually get traded by a defaulter. And now it's down to Crunchy in a 1-on-2. He is worried about the lurk, and rightfully so, but he can't get that first frag onto R2. And so that momentum does not carry over. God's Reign, not even concerned with it. And they should have no problem buying this round either. On the other side, lacking in utility and, you know, preferring to go with Galils for it is True Rippers. And it's just a rinse and repeat, not even going for anything different, just almost perhaps the exact same play is what I would expect. Now, I was going to say the exact same positioning, but Barvi's actually gone out. He was in triple until just a moment ago. Throwing out a molly for the plant, but it's a little bit too early for that. Need to kill that smoke and to kill... Oh god. Bunch of kills through smoke at this point. That smoke clear has done a little more harm than good. 4v3 post plant. Bomb is down and it is planted for a main, which is where one of the players resides. Inhuman once again on this flank, but they may be expecting it considering this is exactly what he did last time. And I think he has been spotted and peeked out by Crunchy. So they know the positioning of 1. We'll see if this retake is any more successful. Players They go out slowly. One frag done. Revan gets that kill, but he is traded. It's a one-on-one. And Rossi manages to finish the job. So 9-3. I'm not sure if it's enough on the half. But True Rippers, I mean, the first step is, of course, winning the pistol. It's something we always talk about. Default are the only one to even have a neutral KD. And I'd say it's Crunchy's time to step up now. Maybe he had a rough time on that positioning on the T side, but CT side, you know, you control your own crosshair, you control your own sight holds. Maybe there's something else to be said, but in terms of this round, I mean, there's only one thing to be said, and it's go B, no stop. One smoke, one tap. Crunchy, exactly the name that I called out, and he delivers one. He's got his teammate around as well, but he can't. Oh, he does indeed get that second frag. McGill's as well helping him out, and that's Crunchy and McGill's with a stellar B-site hold. One of many that they're required to put up if they want to make this comeback a reality, but it's a great place to start. And as soon as you call him into question, this is where you'd expect Crunchy to showcase the mechanics and the fundamentals that differentiate him as an imported player. No force buy from God's Rain. They didn't even get the bomb plant, so it's not a huge surprise. The most they have is a little bit of a pistol upgrade. And we won't be seeing much of anything else. So, straight into the next round. Oh. Maybe there's a little bit else to be said. Of course, I jest. There won't be anything else, but every kill is a big financial detriment. No, if I'm reading this correctly, there have been no MP9 purchases, which is very strange. I think you'd expect even one or two players to go for those MP9s and try to farm that money up, but it actually works out for them this time because they didn't lose very many players. And so they do keep the rifles. We go into a buy. Enough utility for one play only, because they decided to focus a lot on the 8Ks. No surprises there. God's Rain strength being in their aim. Smoke to obscure and second guess on the positioning. Finn. No push out here, but there are 3 players in middle. We'll see what he can get done here. Rossi is pushing up, and he gets almost a frag. He does finish it before he gets traded, and McGill is doing good on that. They know the positioning of a lot of the T players here, and they're not doing so hot. Managing to come up into a 3-on-3. Minute 10 on the clock. They retreat underpass. And it's going to be down to this inhuman lurk here to see if they're going to go A or B. The decision seems to already be made, though. They're retreating and... well, they're going to have to pick up the bomb regardless, but I'd be surprised if they don't go to A now. Meanwhile, McGill's is just spotting towards short. Inhuman's going to have to peek this sooner or later. Reveal a little bit of a play. Default are playing very passive, which is probably the right thing to do. His teammates are not in a position to trade him at all, so just spotting for one, maybe try and deny the bomb plant. At most, that's what he can do. Peeks on a timing, gets the frag. McGill's does good. He does show up just in the nick of time. And it's R2 in a 1-on-3. Smoke down. He knows the positioning of one. He gets that kill. Has to reload, though. And even if he knew the position of Crunchy, that frag is just a little bit too much to bear. Not even looking in the right direction. And God's Rain, they were in a position to make that round competitive, but not the utility you'd want in that post plant. And so it doesn't work out for them. 2 AKs taken over True Rippers into the next round. And it's nice to see Crunchy hopefully continue to have that impact. Tech 9 round, not exactly rushed though. Instead, just opting to take a couple of players into the underpass. Looking to see if they can catch a CT off guard, and they may well have done so if they arrived there a little bit earlier. Rossi, he spots one, he doesn't even get one, he sees two. And that may have confused him just a little bit. That first frag could be the first of many. Anastasis gets one, reveals that the AWP is holding towards B, so they may actually opt to go towards B, but it doesn't seem to be the case, positioning-wise. At least the bomb is in middle. They've got a minute to redirect it, and indeed, now that you see the AWP is towards B, your first thought is, what can we do with these Tech 9s? Jump out and attack the AWP. Simple, straightforward, efficient, and it's exactly that thought process right here. And it will be the right one if Anastasis continues to be a little bit cheeky and forward. Good for the first kill in this position. No flash really to take him off the angle. Throws that Molotov. And the fundamentals may be what saves him here. They can't push too far forward. He's going to have a tough task ahead of him. Misses that first frag. It's him and Crunchy on that default hold. Towards B, Crunchy gets two. And almost good for the third. Anastasis is looking to get that trade, but he can't do it. It's Finn in a 1-on-3. Very tough task ahead of him, 20 seconds. A lot of players, he spots them out, but this is not a position to get a clutch from. Two exposed from all angles. And again, Crunchy 2 kills on that hold, starting to get his frags and numbers up. And this is looking a lot more like the True Rippers I expected to see. Anastasis is showing good fundamentals, maybe not the best aim after the fact, but that's not a big deal as long as you can get that first kill on that turret-like angle and continue to do well on that fallback. That's the most important part. Barbie once again trying to get out here. Anastasis, very risky position. Once that molly fades, he was liable to die. But Barbie doesn't peek on that timing, and he does get the kill. Finn taken down. Anastasis is very dynamic on the map. Last round towards B. This round starts on mid, goes towards A. Exactly what you want to see from an AWPer. Especially in a game like this where we haven't really seen True Rippers take that initiative. If Anastasis can be that for his team, this could be the key to a True Rippers comeback. This is their map pick. I would like to remind everybody. And Inhuman getting that kill may change the trajectory. Rossi doesn't go ahead of the smoke. Instead, he falls back where Crunchy does get a kill. He ran over towards short to do that. And now 3v4. They don't have side control. The CTs are still playing passive. Opting to let God's Rain waste their utility. It's worked before. There's no reason to say it won't work again. Anastasis, you've got the right idea, but if you get off this angle and you get peeked at the wrong time, it could spell disaster. And what a nade. But it doesn't matter for the frag. It's a 2v4 now. And Revan, I mean, he's got the right idea. Now it's a 1-on-4. This is an impossible task for Revan. Left out to dry by his team, and Crunchy's letting him know. If I remember correctly, he ended that first half with 4 kills, and now he's up to 12 and 13. I mean, yeah, it's been 7 rounds in a row, I think, from True Rippers. Now that the momentum is on that side, the frags have evened out, and you're starting to really notice the fact that Inhuman and Barbie are not contributing. I'm not expecting too much from Inhuman as he's been substituting, but that being said, you still have to maintain your own individual standards. Finn again on middle, trying to harass it, be a nuisance, take that control. But it's R2 to get the actual kill, and Revan, how did he get that kill? I'm not even sure myself, but he doesn't seem to be aware of the fact there's a player behind him. McGill's is playing time. Hold on, he could bait a lot of players and a lot of frags in. How long does he play this position for? He doesn't hear audio cues from apartments that may induce him into taking that frag too early. And there aren't any audio cues in apartments. What is going on in this round? Revan is saying B is clear, but the bomb is going out A. Because they know A is clear. McGill's, he nearly had a positioning there, but the fact that all of his teammates are also towards B, it was actually a very interesting situation there. He thought that because Revan was baited into going B and seeing no players there, that maybe that it would entice the rest of God's Drain towards B, but actually they already had A control, and Revan was actually more confused than anything, wondering where are the team? If they're not A and they're not B, where could they be? See a very interesting situation play out there, but they're actually opting to save the double orb. God's Drain finally break the streak, more importantly. And so 8-10, 3 more rounds and God's Drain will have successfully pulled off the I wonder if you call it a break. No one's really coined that term for taking your opponent's map pick the way that you do call it in tennis. Of course, at the very highest level of CS, most teams do have some level of competence on all maps, and I mean, if it's Mirage, it's Mirage. Everybody knows it to some level, but True Rippers did choose to play it, and again, Crunchy, I mean, Crunchy's been everywhere on this B-side hold, and now pushing out towards short, getting that kill on mid. Finn has been fighting his hardest, and I mean, he's been having impact, but around like this, I mean, what is going on? I'm not even sure myself what is going on. Plays towards the underpass, frags towards middle. Revan being loud and clear, but too many angles to look at. What is he doing? And it's the 5-7 to find the frag, and Ace is switching to his sidearm for that pistol kill. And they actually, and interestingly enough, what's going on here is that they have A control, but they don't have the manpower to recross now that the smokes have faded. And True Rippers know this. It's good to see that True Rippers don't just take that streak ending round lying down. Bavi's position noted, default to AK headshot to the dome of Bavi. And we've been seeing buys non-stop from God's Drain, but after this one, no doubt they'll have to at least take a little bit of a concession. Go for the half buy after this. Still buying down to basically 0 here though. And a timeout. It's been a while since we've had a timeout. God's Drain finally deciding we should talk this one over. We should decide something. Because it's been nothing but trying to get that mid control once again. I mean, it may sound like a broken record, but both teams are basically running the same sort of vibe here. It was Rossi and Miguel's towards mid, and for True Rippers, and for God's Drain, you know, it's Finn and R2 and Bavi sometimes as well. With that being said, I mean, they must have come up with some sort of plan here. The mid smokes do come out as usual. And this time it's Revan flashing himself into it, but doesn't peek on it. Banning presence, they throw the smokes, but nobody's behind them. And actually, nobody's behind them on both sides. This time, Revan, I mean, he goes out in mid, but nobody's there for the CTs at all. They've actually opted for a different look, completely boosting towards B, maybe looking for a 2-man push. But they actually cancel, and it's just a 1-man look around. McGill's is going to find that nobody's there, and I mean, this should signal the rotate pretty quickly. Rossi is a bit more worried about a Vent's positioning, and he'll be right to be worried, considering where R2 is right now. And the bomb has been dropped, and his ace is through the smoke. They know he's here. The smoke, I mean, this is not the best CT smoke, but it'll do. Perhaps. The left side of A has been taken over by the T's, and the right side is still occupied by the CTs. Very loud about this Crunchy. He knows that there's a lot in his play. Doesn't even get that first kill. First time that he's been really tested, and it doesn't work out. Now, do they know that McGill's is here? They seem to have the right idea. And they call out his positioning. Good Molotov to deny the plant a little bit. Just buying time 3v4, going for this retake will be fairly risky. But Rossi's already out and he gets that kill. The bomb is trapped in van. But McGill's being taken out means that the pressure is alleviated. Now Rossi should be taken care of. 10 seconds. They need to get the bomb down. He gets the bomb. Bomb is dropped. 5, 4. Do they have the time? Do they have the time? They just about have the time. It's a 1-on-2 Anastasis, not the right gun for the job. Picks up a rifle. It's a Galil. He has a kit. He's on full HP. Finn is very low. He has the right idea. He spots out Inhuman. Nearly transfers over to Finn. Finn was on just a little bit of health. One bullet would have made the difference, but Finn gets that kill. And if Anastasis didn't have the info, he's going to watch that demo back and realize a little bit of spray accuracy there would have saved him that round. Instead, it's 11 to God's Reign. Still a buy towards this round for True Rippers, but I mean, your moral is going to be a little bit tanked after that round. Meanwhile, God's Reign a little bit more in control now. And nobody towards A at all, expecting mid control, but there's no mid control. Faked out by that last round. We've actually had the inverse happen to them, and Anastasis goes down early. Ross has got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time in which to do it. He's alone here. Too many angles to get that kills from, but he does get that kill indeed. Player pushes around. Defaulter's not quiet about this. He's trying to go out. His teammate falls behind him. And it's just him left at the end of the day. Wall bangs, smoke kills, and... I mean, nothing to do but save here. He wants to get that AWP. He's gonna have to make a sound to do it. He's not gonna go for the AWP, or he's probably gonna wait until the bomb explodes and then hope that it comes his way. Because they're not going to have the money for an AWP next round. And potentially the last round after this. But the problem is he will make noise if he starts running now. But nobody should be in a position to go for that kill. I'm still very surprised that he's not going for the AWP here. It seems like a risk worth taking, especially considering how close it was. That being said, it's going to be 4 MP9s of that one saved rifle to fight for that map life. Once again, no presence towards mid from True Rippers. They don't have the utility or the firepower to contest it, so it's no surprises there. This 2-man push into A main will be successful. In a matter of speaking, they find that nobody's there, so... That's still no guarantee considering that it's been a mid to A many times now. God's Reign breaking through with that. And I do have to give a little bit of credit towards that tactical choice. Oh no. Defaulter. Just walking into a spray by Finn. Steps towards B. The bomb is indeed there. And it's going to be a rough time. McGills gets that first kill. There may be a side hold in this yet. McGills gets 2, and now Crunchy is going to be tasked with 1. He sees him, and he can get the kill indeed. Now it's just down to Revan. And of course, Bavi. But Bavi's nowhere near this play. And what could have potentially been the end of their story is actually going to be another chance. And it's not like God's trying to have that much money in the first place. This is not as clear-cut as it seems. And if Bavi can just get a couple more kills, cause a little bit more economic turmoil, he gets 1, he nearly gets another, but they should be able to pick up the guns. Can he pick up a rifle? Yes, he can. And so it's an AWP and an AK saved over, which means that the buy will be fairly reasonable for True Rippers. And guys are going to have to be careful now. They'll have a buy in the last round, but this round is just going to be a test the water sort of Mac 10 buy. And Ace is opting to go for that jump. Does he get the flag? Very loud on that one. I'm pretty sure they would have heard it. Gets the first kill, drops out. He's very lucky that those are Tech 9s he's going up against. An AK would have gotten the kill there. But of course, hold on. What is Bobby doing? He jumps out and he gets 2 kills with the Mac 10. What is going on? This side is almost completely lost already. Crunchy needs to stand tall here. And he gets that kill. Default also helps him out over on the other side. And just like that, it's a very chaotic round, but the remaining Tech 9s don't even have armor behind them, so this should just be a straightforward attempt at a plant. Rossi, I mean, spot it out. You should not let them get the plant here, and indeed Crunchy doesn't even let the question be asked. Finn could get a kill here, but the lack of armor is going to really hurt him. And so we do come down to the very final round. Could we see overtime? Or is Dust2IN going to come through with a miracle in the very last moments? And Ace is once again going for this jump. Same play as before. He spots a player and he gets that frag. One step closer to overtime. And Ace really has stepped up in these last rounds. Ready for another kill. It's not going to be given to him yet. It's Finn behind that. Very afraid now. Knows that he's being watched. Does he know that he's stuck? He gets that kill. How? What info did he have to get that damage? Not towards the right side. Must be towards the left. Too afraid to peek out the whole way, but... I mean, that being said... They just don't have the map control to go anywhere but B at this point. Even though it's a minute on the clock. I mean, what regresses are you going to do? You have no clue where they've pushed and you're at a man disadvantage. This may be your best shot. Wait it out and find the right timing. R2 is foremost up with the bomb. So, this mid control, it's nothing more than feigning presence. But R2 with the bomb, he is really committing to this. If he dies here, the round itself could be over. He's got the right idea. The walkout comes through. R2 gets 1 kill but can't get the second one. And again, it's Crunchy to get 2 kills with the whole 2v3. Hold on, this couldn't be all that they wrote. Now it's a 2v2. Now it's a 2v1. From what looked like a certainty to overtime, it seems like Dust2IN, Finn and Revan, the duo that always could. It's down to Rossi. Revan's position isn't known. The peek comes through, but Revan takes it down. And Dust2IN stave off overtime. And get that map pick of True Rippers, 13-11. It looked so good for overtime in that final round, but they don't let it happen. Anastasis rather. First kill goes for that flashy play, but it just doesn't show up. And I mean, this is heartbreaking for True Rippers. What could have been a fantastic comeback and a show of true integrity and strength. It turns out it's just one more terrible memory if they can't get this series. They're going to have to bounce back on Anubis. And I mean, True Rippers have been nothing but consistent on Anubis, as far as I can tell. But we'll see who can continue this series and whether Dust2IN will take it in 2 or whether True Rippers have it in them to take map 2 and take us to a third map. All that and more is coming right at you after this break. Don't go anywhere. More Counter-Strike action awaits you. See you then. And we are live with the pistol round. God's Reign versus True Rippers. God's Reign, of course, took map 1. And hold on, we're already getting straight into the action. McGill's getting that first kill. And R2Beach is going to have a lot on his plate. Can't even get that first frag. And Barbie only good for 1. A couple of Julies being bought up. And they don't actually find that much success. It's only Finn to get 1 with them. And Inhuman with a 1-on-2 position should be noted. But generally aware of both of the T's as well. It's a rough task for him. Gets that first kill. Needs a clean tap for the second, and Crunchy is good on the clutch. 3 frags for Crunchy. Had a bit of a rough T side last time around, but this could be his chance at redemption. Of course, a bit of a heartbreak for True Rippers. Rough first half, a lot of effort put into that comeback, and then failure after the fact. Of course, people will be looking to criticize his performance in that first half, but he can make up for it now. Nothing but a couple of deagles. And God's Reign this time don't go for any funny force buy. It is Anubis. It's a bit rough for the CTs to really get anything done without proper guns and proper utility. And so that mid control does come through. We'll see if the USPs can find any cheeky frags, but nothing but smooth sailing to be expected. The Deagles aren't in the right positions to do much anyway. Positions revealed and taken out. Inhuman also has nothing much left to say. He's given away too many chances, but that doesn't mean that he'll be making too good on those. And so, True Rippers off to another. Well, shouldn't say another, because it's actually been the first time they've had a good start after the pistol round. They won the pistol round and then struggled a lot on that T side over on Mirage, but maybe God's Reign will have something else to say about it. Of course, oh, he spots a little bit more than he can handle, and Human throws that smoke up, but I'm having a feeling that it's a little bit too late. Finn gets the first frag, gets the second as well. Really needed that trade there. And they can't find him in the smoke. He finally gets found out, but it's a little bit too late now. Crunchy and Azasis, too much to do, and opportunity not afforded to them. And as soon as the guns come out, it's God's Reign with that frag on that site hold. And if Finn can just keep getting 1 or 2 every single time, then this B-bomb side is not going to be very easy for True Rippers to take control of. Interesting that they still have the money for a couple of AKs here, but looks like it's going to be nothing more than a simple quick play towards water and towards B. Scout's trying to get that cheeky frag. McGill's actually does get it. So credit where credit is due for McGill's. Already pushed up quite a bit. Defaults are smoked out on that lurk. In the meantime, players waiting out that smoke. Crunchy's tasked with that over towards A. It's a 2-2 split. Nobody's towards mid, but the T's aren't looking to flex that control either, so it'll actually turn out just fine. If Crunchy can get this kill here, then we could be in for something. He gets that first. The trade not there. Revan leaves his teammate out to dry. On this regress, oh, he could catch a timing, and he does catch a timing, even manages to fall back, but he's caught down very low, and that should still be the end of the round. He is surrounded. Too low on health, but if he gets these headshots, it may not matter how low his health is, and there was a small chance, but nothing more. And True Rippers actually managing to prevent God's Reign from having momentum for once. Last time around, as soon as they lost a round, it was over from there. But if we can have a bit more back and forth, maybe there's something to be said. Now, even though this is not that map pick, True Rippers, I would still expect them to do well on the T side just because of the nature of Anubis. At minimum, you're looking at 6-6, even split. Now, as a side note, I do wonder if there's an advantage to staying near the music. Won't you not hear certain audio cues as well? Maybe it's like a 0.01% type circumstance, but you know, every percentage counts.
Terrorists win.
Oh, once again, we go into a buy AWP on Revan, and that's literally all he has. AWP and a couple of pieces of utility. No armor, no kit, no nothing. It's all in investment. And we'll see where that investment takes him as he peeks towards middle. Again, Crunchy on the extremity. This seems to be his job of choice. Meanwhile, Rossi with his Mech 10 being a little bit free and crazy with it. Crunchy caught out through the smoke, specifically pushed for. AWP revealing its presence towards A. Should entice a quick B play if they've got the right intuition for it, and it seems like that it will be the case. Nade hits him, but he's not afraid. Molotov will do a little bit better. Position spotted out. The problem is the smoke towards B man is stopping Defaulter from helping his teammate out here. As soon as that fades, he should be the one to push through. And he sees the arm just a little bit more. And the Mac 10 gets traded out, and Assist with that AK, trying to clear out the site, plays in all sorts of awkward angles right now. And they can't clear out the site. They're just taking too long on these rotates, on this decision making. There needed to be a combined play on that round through main and through connector. Because if they waited too long, which indeed happened, they saw the AWP presence, they knew that there was rifle presence because Crunchy was pushed out. They should have just made a bit more of a decisive move, but instead they let the rotate come out, but it doesn't matter because Anastasis is just ready to 1D Revan straight out in middle. The matter of half a second, Revan, as soon as he gets his scope up, Anastasis is already there with the perfect pre-fire peek. And that's a little awkward. Now what? It's not like this is a complete zero investment round. We see Rossi now, ready to sacrifice himself with that lower end pistol. Meanwhile, the Galil is trying to clean up house alongside the AK. A lot of players behind this mid smoke, and we'll see how much respect is given to them. It's Barbie now picking up Revan's AWP. Probably looking to save it if they don't end up winning the round, but it's a bit too early to think about saving already. There is one smoke left. Interesting to see where they want to put this. It's Anastasis with it. He is towards middle, so I'd expect, smoke towards either A or B. It seems like A is their destination of choice, so B is smoked out. As Rossi on that little bit of an entry, he picks up a gun, and the entries are clean as you like. Barbie only gets one. R2B to call off immediately with that Galil. And True Rip is not taking their foot off the gas. I mean, it was a rough buy by all accounts, and they managed to make it work. All thanks to Anastasis with that one dig in middle. If he goes down, this round fizzles out. But because of that kill, the positioning towards middle is constantly in suffering. Barbie picks up the AWP and has to fall back. They don't have enough to control all the bomb sites at the same time. Just that sheer one difference in manpower, 4 versus 5, is enough to change the entire dynamic. You got Finn and Humans to wondering, what went wrong? Now, that being said, even if God's Reign only win a few rounds, I still do believe they have a great T side, and you can't count them out here. True Rippers should keep that in mind as well. They should know that God's Reign can't be simply taken down with one good half. You need two good halves, as they so painfully learnt. Bobby blinded, mollied out. No clear peek. He goes for it. Takes 40 health worth of damage for a little bit of info. Was it worth it? He'll be the judge of that. Still trying to play ahead of everything. There's 3 towards middle in this round. Very heavy defense towards mid this time. Content with not playing towards A at all. That initial smoke and just immediately leaving. Trying to bluff that they would have an anchor, because surely you wouldn't leave the entire site completely defenseless, right? Doesn't seem to matter. They've got their first kill, and it's Rossi and Defaulter. Now that you see 2 kills in mid, you have to be wondering where the rest of the CT is. Where could they possibly be holding? Bomb is still towards A, but they have a lot of time to change that. McGill's holding and not pushing. I don't expect that'll change anytime soon. As his team grouped up with him, though, he may have to take a bit more of a peek. We'll see what Inhuman sees as he receives this play. Gets the first kill, doesn't quite the second. It's down to Finn. He gets that first one, and indeed, you know what? Like one, like the other, can't get 2 kills. And Buffy, is he really going for this? No kit. He does have an AK and armor, but I mean, knife through the smoke is completely reckless. You're just going to get shot in the side of the head. I have no idea why Buffy went for that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But you do love to see the spirit of attempting the round, even when it's fairly impossible. No utility, no knowledge of positioning of the T's, really. And I mean, you would have liked to have an AK, but they would have said saving this round anyway, so it's perhaps neither here nor there. The only purchase in this round for the CT is a lone P250 that's gonna hold solely towards the B-bomb site, and another bit of a mid-stack. Nobody there necessarily to receive it. It's just Rossi kind of playing for it, not looking to push. Learned his lesson from last time. And information trade. Not sure how much Default saw. Probably just a sliver of Inhuman. And immediately rotating, maybe trying to feign a B stack. And now, instead, the entirety of the CT is stacked towards A. It's a smart psychological play, but they are already watching for this sort of presence. Or they were watching, but they actually go off of it. Nade won't really hit a group. It'll just hit Finn. There's potential for a huge nade there, but it's not like you're going to easily nade to the left of you. One pistol shot. You know what? That potential misclick may actually have revealed the stack. But they're already pushed out. They have full B control. Oh my god, Crunchy just gets 4 kills. I missed the entirety of that. I was looking at the B control, but Crunchy could go for the ace. On the reload, gets peeked out. Gets denied the ace. Rifle picked up. Unfortunate. Crunchy, you'll get them next time. But this M4 should also be denied the save. I say should be denied the save. It's not like you're so rich that you can just afford to throw away players. This is all of a sudden... Wait, hold on. Are they not going to get the bomb down? They're not going to get the bomb down. What the... How... I'm... What? What? No, seriously, what? Excuse me? That may be the single stupidest round I've had the pleasure of casting in my entire casting career. They have the entirety of the B bomb site. I'm looking at them getting B bomb site control. Crunchy gets 4 kills. And then they can't... They go for the hunt on R2. They don't get the bomb down in time. R2 stays alive. What is going on? True Rippers, what are you doing? Okay. Well, they're gonna need a bit more of a reset than I need a reset. At this point, both of us should take a time out and think about this one. But no time to think. The rounds come at us one after the other. Welcome to Dust2IN Masters. He comes through, Revan takes him down, Rossi's mindless aggression, completely blind, and that flash assist clears down the scoreboard. They'll be taking this with all they've got. They could have been a real opportunity for True Rippers to twist the knife in and just dominate the half, but now you got Revan on an orb taking frags in middle, now you've got a man disadvantage. Suddenly this looks like True Rippers are just going to be content with letting this be a 2-0. And I hate to call it so early, but the mental game is also very important in situations like this. When you lose a round like that, I mean, what is going on? Barbie gets one on the hole. It's a 4v3. Smoke is preventing him from getting too much more vision. They know that there's more than one here. And Finn gets taken down. They knew that Barbie was here in the first place, so they still let him get a kill. It's a 2v2 on the site. The players are very low. R2 Mix got him that with a smoke spam kill. And so it's down to Anastasis. And he can't even get that first frag. Vaguely knew the positioning, but Revan once again one step ahead. Or 2 steps ahead, as is now the parlance. Sorry, I just can't stop thinking about the round that just happened before. This is like... You don't get to see one of those every day, even when you're casting God's Reign versus True Rippers. Dare I say. Spotting for the boost. I mean, he had the right idea, but the crosshair is not exactly in their best position for it. And now they're just going to be streaming straight into middle. Finn, you got to be careful about this. I mean, if you go a bit too forward, they're going to peek you directly. But Molotov and fall back is the right play. At the very least, with the information he had. Another Molotov. Hasty with his control. And we'll see how far True Rippers want to take this. If they can mentally reset and still get maybe 7 rounds. But hold on, what? Huh? Well, you know what? All's well that ends well. If they can actually end well, but you know what? They ended well. I'm running out of ways to describe how these sites are being taken. Players in great positions getting no kills. Players not being cleared in angles. I mean, this is as up and as down as you would like to see it. Forever left to save the orb. Credit to True Rippers for not mentally collapsing and actually taking a round, though. Even though Finn got 2 kills, every single other frag, the map control was actually fairly good. Waiting out the double Molotov towards that A connector camera, I believe, and then just crunching towards A. I mean, when you got a job to do, you do it right. Don't worry about the rounds that have gone prior. And another buy down McGill's for a second. They didn't have an AK, but they had the money for it. So unsurprising that he does come through with the investment. 2-man hold. You got an AWP holding the angle and Barbie playing anti-flash. First kill towards the AWP. He peeks again. He gets the kill, spots out the boost. And Barbie ready to receive, but it won't be necessary because it's all Revan all day at the minute. Flashed in, Barbie spots nobody. They'll play a little game of seesaw with the angle. Barbie should have heard that drop down. Is the bomb dropped in front of him or is it dropped below him? I'm not actually sure. It is in front of him. Okay. which basically spells the end of the round. Still, at the start of the map, I did say 6-6 is not enough if you want to beat God's Reign and Anubis. You need more. And they're not going to get more, as far as I can tell. Rossi waiting for a pick that literally will never come. Nobody's even in A main. He gets info, but the info is now a two-way street, so he's probably done for. And that's indeed the case. They'll have to make do with what they have in this final round. True Rippers were on the precipice of dominating the half, and then chaos ensued. And this time they're going for a complete mid-rush. We'll see what happens here. Finn to receive, he goes forwards, and forward was not the right direction, my friend. In the face of so many players, you can't target one, and he gets taken down. Inhuman, maybe spam through the smoke. Instead of nading through the smoke, he nades over the smoke, trying to get damage instead of line of sight. And he gets neither, to be fair. 5v4, it's a redirect, but they may be digging their own grave here because they're going towards Revan, and Revan's been nothing but lights out. He opts to fall back. If he had just waited one more second, he would have gotten a kill, but this may be the right play if he can just get one and stay alive. That was more of a one-and-done angle that he was holding, and they don't have the utility to flush him out of this, so it's the right idea for Revan. He gets the first kill, spots the second, doesn't get the frag. Doing his best to delay while the rest of his team slowly shows up. Bomb is not in an easy-to-deny position for him. It's all Revan right now. R2 flashed into connector. There's one player there, and that player does not get that frag. McGills gets two instead. And you know what? They needed more than 6, and it looks like they're going to get more than 6. If it's only 7, then they'll have to bear with it and put up a stellar CT side. Revan, no time for this one. Just playing for ego and playing for frags. Gets one more. Let him have it. Goes down with the ship. True Rippers get 7 at the end of that half. Not too bad, all things considered, but 7 is a little bit insufficient against a team like God's Reign, who I have seen great Anubis T-sides from. As we go into the pistol round, True Rippers would really love this just for the motivation, if not for the actual necessity, but their B-bomb site has already been given up. Completely defaulter, running out of ammo, pushed so far back that he can't even see the bomb being planted, but he knows it's been done. Now it's a regroup and a regress. All players coming from CT and Temple respectively. Crunchy and Default are actually making this fairly competitive now. Hold on, there's no kit, so they're gonna have to get on this quickly. Crunchy, it's all down to you, my friend, and there's not really any time for this play anymore. You're gonna have to stick it, and it's done. Try as you might, these frags are nothing but consolations and money in the bank for what may end up being their final half of Counter-Strike. Pistol round goes to God's Reign. And not even a force buy at all. Crunchy instead, maybe saving to drop an AWP over, we'll see. But they're gonna need more than just one AWP. Flash in, doesn't get a single kill. Mopped up by Finn and Barbie. Mac 10 farming up a lot of money. Can probably afford to drop an orb if he needs to, but why say no to even more bonus money in the future? And you can see the pecking order right there as he drops the Max 10 over to R2. Oh! Somebody's forgotten to fix that jump throw muscle memory right there, Finn. Put that for one on the tally. Looks like that was probably some sort of instant smoke towards middle, and well, it's not so instant anymore, but they still opt to rush towards B. Defaulter gets one, gets two, jumping Mac 10. East headed out, it's 3-on-2, and McGill's almost good for a second, but it doesn't end up panning out. Revan's low, and Finn is going to be there to help him. 2v2 on the retake. There's no kit yet. I'm not sure if there's one to be picked up, but they should still be quick on this. Crunchy smoked out. He reveals that he smoked out, which is risky in and of itself. It means that a lot of pressure is on Anastasis, and they know that. Smoking out an angle that's not even going to be relevant in this. Spots one player. Gets that first kill. Revan's very low. If he can just flick towards it and get that kill, he can't. It's all down to Crunchy. You're going to have to accelerate. If there's no kit, there's no kit. You can't go for this. Crunchy leaves his teammate out to dry. I'm not sure why Crunchy didn't push out just a little bit faster. But that decision is what leads to the round loss. Revan was so low that if he had just pushed out together on a timing, maybe the communication just wasn't there in time. But either way, I mean, True Rippers, it's not like they haven't had a chance in this game. But you can't let these chances go away. And Crunchy's, while he has been fragging, it's about the crucial moments. It's not just about fragging all the time. It's about fragging when it counts. That being said, he still does have the rifle here. And he gets one. Hold on, he could get a second kill here. He does get a second kill here. How is he allowed to let that happen? They almost let him get a third kill. R2, you can't let that happen, my friend. He nearly lets that one fumble. Dropping down and getting 2 frags, but it should still be around for God's reign. The bomb is not decided yet. Hold on. If they go towards A, all is well, but okay, it does seem that they are going towards A. That being said, there's a flank. But girls, if he's got the right timing on this, he could deny the bomb plan even, because they're probably going to assume that mid was completely clear. It was only a second or two ago that they were all just right where McGill's is right now. If he just plays with a little bit more push and a little bit more shove, and he's lost the timing. Smoke comes through. The rifle's making a bit of noise. Default is taken down. He blinds himself. Oh no, I do believe that was actually a T-flash. I do believe that was thrown by Barbie. And Rossi gives it his best shot, but can't get anything done. Gosren continue winning rounds. And his ace is straight into the AWP. Double AWP. Not sure how I feel about this. Unless it was just a reshuffling of investment to make sure utility, which it does seem to be the case. Yes, just one AWP. Crunchy's been doing great on the rifle. No reason to switch things up in my opinion, but they do seem to agree. But Anastasis doesn't make good on that AWP purchase. Immediately, thousands down the drain as he falls to Revan in middle. Rossi tasked with mopping up that lost space. Just hiding behind the wall of smoke. And it's going to be individual heroics is what I was going to say. But R2 actually gets that frag. Inhuman through the smoke. That's the right kind of play. They've been looking for that kind of intuition. Inhuman single-handedly clears out the B bomb site. That's trouble now. Big trouble. Didn't even need side control. They just collapsed with the slightest push. It's just Rossi alive. Position already noted, gets one, but I mean, this is just for saving one gun. Picks up the orb. Oh dear. He lets him know. It lets him know that there's no such thing as an easy orb save in this map. This time Finn remembers how to actually jump throw in CS2, and the instant mid-smoke in progress right there. To do well in the lurk last time towards A, so much so that they're not contesting main at all this time. They don't have the utility for it, it's just a couple of MP9s, pistols, one rifle, but literally, like, they don't have any utility. One smoke on Rossi, one flash on Crunchy. Looks like this is going to be the play. Spots out the player. It's as much as you could have bargained for. Throws out the smoke, and that'll be it. Everything else from now is just going to be raw peaks. And if we're talking about raw peaks, Inhuman's been looking pretty sharp. Especially on this B bomb site now. Now, will he clear to his left is the prominent question. Not sure if that position's been revealed yet. How patient is Defaulter? Inhuman is alone here, but shouldn't really matter. It's just a play after all. Rossi not ready for the forward positioning. Deagle peppers the T's down, but Crunchy, he gets one. Hold on a second. He has time to pick up this AK. Doesn't go for it, and instead all the CTs go down. Oh, we're only a couple of rounds away from God's Reign taking this 2-0. True Rippers needed that first map, not just because Anubis would have been really difficult for them regardless, but also because confidence of losing your map pick, well, there's not going to be any confidence. And God's Reign is a team that thrives off of that kind of positioning mentality. If you're not confident in taking peeks against God's Reign, then you're not going to have much of an edge against them at all. Crunchy, can you save your team so far? Rossi's been having a rough one. Mid-control fully afforded. They're wrapped. They're stuck. But Barbie actually opts to go towards B instead, and that is a crucial mistake. If he had just wrapped towards A, the frag would have arrived to him. But instead, Finn, he takes that positioning again. But the orb is ready. Doesn't matter. Finn just walks straight into him. Gets the headshot. Is he ready for another player? Loud about it. Does get the kill. Finn clears the entirety of that path. Single-handedly. Mid routing straight behind Temple. It's a job well done from Finn. And cleans house completely. 3 kills. That may be the end of the story. True Rippers, I expected them to put together a little bit more of a cohesive fight, especially on map 1. They had a rough first half, which is far from my expectations. This map, I mean, it couldn't have really gone in too many more ways, but it's not like it was a complete blowout. At least on the first half. This second half has been nothing but God's Reign. And if that doesn't tell you the whole story, I'm not sure what will. Even when they try to go for a play, Inhuman, the stand-in showing up when it counts. It's been headshot aim in these last few rounds from Inhuman, just tapping straight towards that B bump site. And if there was ever a time for individual heroics, it would be now, but no utility to speak of. It'll literally just be aim jewels and God's Reign. Not the kind of team to let an opportunity like this go to waste easily. Bomb is going towards the more defended bomb site. And they only have 1 Molotov, so there is a chance that some angles go uncleared here. We'll see what they can get done. Rossi gets the first. Anubis tries to play off of it, but he can't. And now it's just down to Crunchy. Position noted. It's not pretty. And there you have it. God's Reign. They take this 2-0, 13-7 on Anubis, 13-11, staving off a comeback on Mirage. There will be our first grand finalist. We'll see who shows up in that game. It seems like it's actually going to be a fairly close affair. Starboys seem to have taken map 1, and Victoria's looking good on map 2, but we'll see what kind of action that we're looking forward to after a short little break. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Counter-Strike action coming straight towards your screens. This is the Dust2 India Masters. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Blindsided, I trusted, fell for you. What a stupid thing to do. Blindsided, high hopes, but they fell away the moment you lied to me. Blindsided, misguided, led astray, trusted too easy. Blindsided, strung out on the smallest string, had me questioning everything. I don't know where I am now.
Maybe I ain't lost my way. Maybe you ain't gone too far. I had nothing left to say. We had left ourselves in the dark. So tell me this, if we left the peace where they fell, will we have a lot to lose from lying to ourselves? All the times you said to me, the feeling that you felt, we lost it, we lost it. Can we get back the love we had? Get back the love we had? Or are we in love with what we lack? Get back, to get back. Get back the love we had. Get back the love we had. Or are we in love with what we lack? Get back, to get back. Maybe I ain't lost my way. Maybe you ain't gone too far. I had nothing left to say. We had left ourselves in the dark. Can we get back the love we had? Get back the love we had? Or are we in love with what we lack? Get back, to get back. Get back the love we had. Get back the love.
And we are live with the grand final of Dust2 India Masters. We got a special treat for you today, reviving an age-old rivalry, this time in Counter-Strike. The God's Reign versus Starboys is in India versus Pakistan in CS2. Starboys making that upset on the other semi-final, and now we got God's Reign's pick of Anubis. They're starting on that CT side, and Starboys already into the B bomb site. Bloody looking to get even more control in Temple. Nearly gets one kill. Indeed does finish it off. Bomb planted, but it's not as easy as all that. Is what I was going to say, with the frags just coming as a flurry, and Humans already caught off guard and gets taken down. Starboys with the pistol, and we could, and I said this very tentatively, could be in for an upset here if Starboys can continue that firepower that they displayed in the other semi-final. It was a 2-0 on that side. Starboys taking down Victorious Sumas, who most people expected to take that semi-final and meet us in the grand final, but it's not going to be the case. Instead, Starboys, mostly unknown players, have mostly just been playing together in this team and together in similar cores before this, but maybe I spoke too soon. We'll see if they can get anything else done. Angel's got to do a lot of cleanup here. Gets that first frag, but reveals the location of the bomb. Skofik as well is going to have to put in his own hard yards. Man disadvantage, but the damage is definitely favoring Starboys. Angel is on half health, but the Mac 10 should be cleaning up a lot of these low players. 3 towards Heaven here. Spots out the players. It's going to be a difficult task. And already dinged down doesn't bode very well. HF is going to have to do a lot more than just have fun. He's going to have to finish the job, and he can't even do that. Despite the tags and the low health of God's Reign, immediately bounced back. And dare I say it, this is a close start, but God's Reign could run away with this final very quickly. Let's not forget that they also have their own momentum coming through here and are the overwhelming favorites. Hear that cheeky little jump sound. Drops down. Revan gets one. Oh, while reloading is not the greatest time. Finn was supposed to have his back, but indeed he doesn't at all. How did this B bombs like collapse so immediately? Sharpshooter the molly. He knows that there's someone there, but he can't hold that spray. The trade is delayed, but it comes in time. And now it's R2B2 in a 1v2. No kit. 2 flashes and an M4 A1S. Full health, full armor. He hears the audio cues, has some inkling of positioning, but should be a little bit faster about this if he wants to really get this done. There's a Molotov at the side of Starboys as well, so if he doesn't pick up any sort of smoke, Molotov doesn't get thrown out, should get thrown out now, and that's probably the round done. Oh no, there is still potential, but it doesn't let it build into anything more. And Starboys immediately bounce back. This is the kind of fight that we were looking to see from True Rippers, actually. Looking to not let God's Reign run away with rounds, try and keep things level. I will see if Starboys can do a little bit more. This could be an all-out brawl. Firepower versus firepower. Of course, this is God's Reign's map pick, and you expect nothing but the best from them, especially considering how they've pretty much never given up Anubis when it counts. HF on this lurk. Molly exactly for his position. He's mollied out. Can't see anything. That's just an unfair peek. He never stood a chance. Dominated, in fact. And a 4v5. They're clearing out mid, and Sharpshooter's got a lot on his plate. Spots out 2 players. Not sure if he saw a third, but Skofik actually has an empty bomb site if he pushes at the right time. Now, he has delayed just a little bit too long, and now it's not so empty anymore. Needs the frags instead of just positioning. Gets the first. Spots out the second. Does good damage. Barbie's already low. Now, there's no smoke here, so the problem is that even if they get this positioning, they can't stem the CT rotates. And it's going to have to be aim duels. And aim duels is what Skofik seems to be doing his best at. Already 2 kills in the round. And he hears the third. But can't get that clean frag. Now he's in an awkward position. And he's low on ammo. Oh, this is rough. He gets cleared out, but Bloody's actually there to save his life. And this 2v3 ends up playing out in Starboy's favor, stemming the full buy from God's Reign off. It's actually more convincing than you might expect. And I wonder if God's Reign is caught off guard as we are here, because Starboys were not the opponent that they expected to face, and they may not have any preparation ready on such short notice to fight an unexpected grand finalist. It's not as if Starboys don't deserve to be here. They got that victory. So, taken down, Molotov'd out. USPs will find nothing in this round. It's AKs across the board, so even 1 kill is something that you'd be looking forward to taking that gun away. It's not as if there's a Mac 10 that you could just snatch and sneak and be content with losing. There's a little bit more at stake here if you take a kill away from Starboys, but there's an empty bomb site and they're slowly crunching towards it. Bomb also headed that way, so Safe on the cross. Skofik makes his way towards A, and that's the round settled. We'll see if they can get any exits here, but I wouldn't be holding my breath. One's better than none, and Human gets us started, and that may be the only start that they get. Can't even save the AK, so it's all for nothing. One kill is not the end of the world. A lot of money being built up. If Starboys can keep economic pressure, this half could get very, very out of hand. I mean, buying down to 0 here. The most money, $50 on Revan, you're going to need to win this round then. Or at the very worst, save the AWP. Let's see what Revan can bring to the table. Out mid, no AWP to contest him, so if he gets this peek, it'll be against the rifle, which is the preferred option. But he can't get the frag. It was offered to him. Can't complain at that point. Following up on that peak sharpshooter. Through these smokes, not afraid to get a little bit down and dirty with it. And on the other side, you've got Skofik fighting for connector control. Good fundamentals. Already great map control. Mid is under their remit. And connector was up until a moment ago. That frag from Inhuman relieves a lot of pressure. Loosens the belt just a little bit. But they're not home yet. They got to finish this round. Angel takes that space that Skofik was fighting so earnestly for. And I don't think that's where that smoke was supposed to go. In the meantime, the mid crunch has also failed. So it's Angel alone. Smoked himself off connector. Would do well to get one frag. He does get one frag, but position noted, ding down. I mean, saving is the lucky thing to do here. Probably the better thing to do would be economic damage, but not even going to do that. 3 alive, magic number being hit means that not only is the orb saved, the AK is retrieved, but finances should be slowly stabilizing. It's one step in the long road, though, because Starboys have the funds to fight this over and over. Even after this, they may have a buy depending on the bomb plan and Mac 10s and so on and so forth, so we'll see how they can continue to win rounds. The AWP with a new face peeking towards water. The canal's not occupied yet. Not sure if that nade was supposed to go there either. Bit of utility fumbling, but we pay it no mind, and we continue. Again, sharpshooter through middle. This time nobody's here to receive him, so he's going to get this positioning if he is patient enough. And indeed he is. Problem is he also doesn't have any utility of his own, so he's going to be stuck taking a lot of aim duels. He isn't alone, though. Not really many more fights going on. And so this mid push will show up. We'll see what Inhuman sees. Sprays and gets one. Trade frag not there. Bloody actually has to go through and get that frag. They actually have the A bomb site, but the bomb is still a little bit lost. They're going to have to pick that one up. And in the meantime, they've lost control of the A bomb site. Sharpshooter again sitting in the smoke. Seems to be his special move. Finishes off R2. Are they ready for a second player in main? It doesn't look like it, but he can't finish the frag, so the bomb will go down. And he gets the second player in the meantime, so very stuck here, Bloody, and there's not much he could have done there. Needed headshots, as he was already tagged down on that cross, so God's Reign, good fight. It's not the cleanest money, but with this, they have at least managed to fight the full buys off. Starboys are going to have to force into this with a relatively weak buy if they want to contest it, and They may just opt to get a couple of deagles, but no, it is the AK and Galil brought down, as you might expect, not willing to let go of the opportunity to still dominate economically. We're at the point where the half could go either way. Important swing round here. Godsray need to keep it clean. And if they do so, we could see them take a commanding lead already. We'll see what kind of play they have with the hero AK. Bloody's been doing a great job so far, but they'll need a bit more. And the very conspicuous lack of utility here. It's just a play into middle, hoping to overwhelm with sheer numbers because they don't have the firepower to compensate for this either. And I mean, already losing 1.5 players. It's not all it's cracked out to be, but Bloody does get the kill. That's the first step. Reveals the AK, could put a bit of fear into God's Reign, not knowing the exact finances, maybe expecting a little bit more. Bomb can be planted, but they need to clear out these angles. Bloody does a good job. Still surveying, but doesn't prepare for the peek at CT, and the bomb going down is the best they could have hoped for. Now it's just down to frags, and Mac 10, hold on, sharpshooter. He's got a real chance here if he can just get a couple of these easy frags. Oh, just a transfer would have been enough there, but Hectic Frantic doesn't get the kills. And all of these rounds, God's Reign are still just barely making it through. You can tell that the finances aren't pretty, but they're enough to keep you going. And I mean, on Anubis, that's kind of all you can hope for. And we've seen how good their T-sides are. God's Reign, you've seen how dominant and constricting they can be. Some would say 4 is already enough, but remains to be seen how good Starboy's CT side is, of course. Hold on, we've got an aggressive play here. Revan with the orb all the way through, spots a flag, gets that frag, gets a 2-man push, and Inhuman backs him up perfectly. Clearing out that A presence immediately, and now the CTs, they don't have much to play for, but Bobby through the smoke. Looked like he was going for a bit of a mid-push, trying to overextend that advantage, and he's given Starboy a chance now. What could have been a pretty dominant round. Now we've got questions. This time they do have utility. 2 smokes, 2 flashes, enough for a play on either bomb site or even a play through mid. It looks like it's going to be the B play. Now, depending on the timing, they could catch these 2 players, or they could be even more waiting for them. 1 player towards dark. Sharpshooter gets the trade and does indeed get the second one. Nade through the smoke betrays Inhuman, hoping to catch people off guard. Spots a player towards Temple. Bomb going down 2-on-2. 2 of the best plays here for Starboy. Molotov does very little. Bloody probably the first to receive. Sharpshooter peeking on contact. We'll see who goes first. Sharpshooter peeks off of the contact, but it's Bloody to get the first kill. Position known. It's a game of cat and mouse. Who's going to peek who? Finn versus Bloody. They know each other's positions. And Bloody, perfect crosshair placement. Peeks into Finn, takes him down. And you see what I've been talking about this whole time with the economy comes back to bite them God's Reign. The past few rounds, it's been 1 alive, 2 alive. At most, they've had 3 alive. And you can see what it does to that buy. They've got nothing now. They have to save. What are they going to do? $157 and a flash. That's their dream. And this is why the CT side of Anubis is so constricting, even at the best of times. You've won all these rounds. But if a team knows how to get that map control and get into winnable situations, even if they don't win the situations, they still put you in a difficult circumstance. And of course, as for this round, there's not much to be said, but they shouldn't be letting Bloody farm this confidence. I mean, you can see how sharp this aim is right now. We've been watching a lot of great aim players. Haven't seen many of them look as sharp as this. And they just keep giving it to him. All 5. 18 and 5 now. Bloody 10 rounds have passed, 18 kills. Him and Sharpshooter have really put together that impact. I mean, you can see it in the clutch. Last left alive and they get the job done. What more can they do? An 8-4 half will be splendid. Put them in a real position to put this upset together. And you can see it's left the place a little bit uncertain. That being said, Angel's gone for his own kind of wild peak, and this time Revan's towards A, and he actually gets that kill. All over the place, the frags are going on. Sharpshooter, once again towards mid, this time caught between two angles. Not sure where to look. It doesn't work out for him. And just as Starboys were getting that grasp on the half, God's Reign come right back in. And against God's Reign, you can't let these kinds of rounds just happen where you go limp and you don't fight it. Because going into the last round, there was a real chance that you could force economic detriment. You could force them to buy MP9s and sacrifice utility. But now if you let them have all 5 alive, they may even have enough to give Inhuman a rifle upgrade. And indeed, he picks one up. Every little percentage counts. And God's Reign potentially on track for a 6-6 here. Once again, standard utility, no one's going for anything too aggressive, although HF this time is the one towards middle. He sees nothing and doesn't even get traded. Barbie's the one who gets 2 kills, assisted by that flash from Revan. We've seen this combo play before. Sometimes it's Barbie flashing Revan for an ult pick, and sometimes it's Revan letting that rifle do the work. And this time it works out. And for all that effort, all they've got is connector control, so it's going to have to be a B hit before the rotate starts to come in and the round goes out of their control. Smoke into main, Molotov backside. Skofik clearing things out, Molotov of the CT's own choosing. Doesn't even get the kill, Inhuman in fact gets 2, and Angel is going to have a tall task ahead of him. Last round of the half, of course, and 6-6. Starboy showcasing a lot of good form here, but when it counted, they couldn't capitalize, and that's what lets God's Reign actually keep it to a 6-6 scoreline. And we've seen that be the case multiple times at this point, that God's Reign, even if they look like they're struggling at certain points in the half, the other team is just unable to put the pressure on and really finish the job. The killer instinct is lacking. And if nobody has killer instinct against God's Reign, you can bet that God's Reign will have killer instinct against you. You can count on Revan to take a peek like he did. Pushing towards canals and water, or shifting his position towards the A main. Pistol round underway. God's Reign are going to look to extend that domination. Starboys, they did have fairly sharp aim, but still have some liabilities. Skofik 3 and 10. So, hoping to be supplemented by those stars. Bloody and Sharpshooter looking to fill that gap. And it at least does seem like the right gamble. Starboys have
3.5, depending on how you consider Angel's position here, but sharpshooter to receive. We'll see if they peek on a timing. Skofik already gets 1 kill, and HF the same, peppering the T's away. Bomb probably spotted and now retreating. It's a 3v4, but R2 on the way back does get a kill. Is actually in control of the A bomb site, or B bomb site rather. Now that I say it, they're in control of the A bomb site as well. An Angel, a bit of a reckless peek, and he pays the price. But it is still a 2-on-2. HF2 in the round. Could be on for even more depending on circumstances. He does a bit of a double take. It really is a player in Temple. Now the position is noted. It's HF. Bomb's not planted for Revan, so he should really be forcing the issue. Does Revan think that the CT has the balls to stick? Now it's revealed. HF, oh, he plays his hand and he goes the wrong way. He doesn't have the time. No kit, which means the round is lost. Great effort. HF gets 4 kills in the round, but... it's just all for nothing there. A couple of seconds of acceleration and the round may turn out differently, but these micro decisions, left or right on the pillar, and pistols lost. Still a good effort, but this does mean that God's Reign may be off to one of their flawless T sides. But I am looking forward to see what Star Wars can bring on this full buy, because they do have some very sharp players. We could see a set play, something like pushing Bloody through mid or something like that, which I would be very interested to see. He's been looking very sharp. And I mean, 147 ADR, it speaks for itself, of course. Into the full buy. Nothing incredibly special from the CTs though. Solo hold. Angel, you've let that molly go a bit too late. They might push you. He manages to get it in time, bailed out by another piece of utility. Smoke stems the flow, and this time it's towards mid instead. 3 towards mid, only 1 to receive. It's sharpshooter. He's out of utility, or the whole CTs are out of utility. 1 flashbang in. You'd love to save that for some sort of play. And so it's just sharpshooter playing this pop-up position in mid. HF in tandem holds that spray and Finn peeks into it, not expecting that to be held, but Bloody actually goes down. HF is aggressing, but they've lost the A bomb side in the meantime, so they have to find some positioning otherwise. And he catches Inhuman off guard. Man advantage, hold on, what's going on here? Skofik is potentially going to find... Look to your left, my friend. He does find the kill. Revan nearly turns around in time. It's a 4v2. Doesn't seem to be a kit, so they're going to have to really put the accelerator on here. And R2 could be up for multiple frags. R2 and Barbie together. Turns this 2v4 into a 1-on-1, and R2 is quite low. And oh my god. He just needed to look in the right direction, but just unaware. He thought that R2 could have gone towards mid, jumped into a different angle, but he just stayed towards side and gets that kill. 2v4. Starboys, this is the kind of round that they can't let slip. It's the difference in percentages that lets God's Reign continue to dominate in this region. And once again, it's not as if they haven't had chances to win. That was a great opportunity to win. And both peaks fail in middle. The half buy falls flat. Looking at another God's Reign T side that we sit there and wonder, could the other team have done something different? Could they just have changed a few small details in one? But This time, however, it's a completely different look. 4 on 3. Angel on that orb gets that first kill. He is isolated here, but so are the T, so they can't actually deal with him that easily. And now he's no longer alone. Revan good on that peak. And so is Inhuman. So again, turning disadvantaged situations into winnable rounds. When the mid rounds play out, the individuals of God's Reign just make fewer mistakes. It's proven true time and time again at this point. 6 and 11 now. And I mean, 3 for Masters and 2 M4A1Ss is not the place you want to be taking this. Opting to force with all they've got. Bloody's gone a little bit quiet. It's been a while since he's had an impact round, and Skoffic's being tested. 5 and 15. Sharp gets that first frag, but Skoffic looks like he's going to get caught out again, and that is the case. A bomb site, left alone, taking control. Bomb heading that way ASAP. And R2B2's forward position catches HF off guard. Sharpshooter not making a secret of his position here, but nobody hears him. They don't check his position. He gets a kill for free. It's not as losable as they once thought, but Bloody peeking the right angle. But Inhuman just swivels, taking out these FAMASas. None of them getting that perfect spray down. The idyllic FAMAS dream. Sharpshooter could have even died from that nade there, and I mean, looking to save, surely. I don't expect anything less. I mean, this is where God's Reign have constantly shown that they're the better team. Oh, just about saves it, and that's important because that's one more gun that they'll have. Sharpshooter able to drop one over, and that's all they're going to have to play with. Couple of FAMASas again, but it's not pretty. And certainly not where they want to be. Maybe Starboards will fare better on that map pick, but considering the confidence that God's Reign is displaying right now, I wouldn't be holding my breath. Revan once again just ready for the plays. Nothing Starboards have done in this entire half has caught God's Reign off guard. Another flawless T-side. It may be 2 flawless T-sides in one deck on Anubis for God's Reign. We are not underselling how good this team is at Anubis, especially against domestic opposition. Bloody gets one back. 4v3 fighting for their lives. Revan even ready for this play. Spots it out, gets the kill. Bloody taken down. 2 frags remaining. And a hero plays all they have left. Can't even get that done. A FAMAS, a $500 Molotov that doesn't even cover the same area as the team Molotov, and a Dream. HF. A second smoke has reached his location and pushes through it, meeting his demise, no doubt. And Revan seals the deal. God's Reign take map 1. dominant fashion. Once again, a close CT half where they get 6 rounds, although that is already quite good for Anubis, and then they never let go of their opponent on that T side. And it's a job well done once again. We'll see if Starboys can bounce back on their own map pick. And I'm looking forward to seeing if we can go to 3 or whether God's Reign will be once again the champions of Dust2 India Masters. All that and more is coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Hearts that coded, no one's home. You're scared and all alone. Can't do it on your own. You're scared that all of your screams will fall silent, but just know the second that you close your eyes, I'm bringing you back to life. I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. I'm bringing you back to life. Why do I want you back? Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. I'm bringing you back to life. Hearts that coded, no one's home. You're scared and all alone. Can't do it on your own. You're scared that all of your screams will fall silent, but just know the second that you close your eyes. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you? I'm bringing you back to life. Don't wanna want you. Why do I want you back? Don't wanna want you. Why do
And we are live with the pistol round of map 2. Gozrain versus Starboys. Gozrain on the CT side. This is Starboys map pick. And they're going to need to do well on it because they want to force a third year Revan. It's not the cleanest way to get that boost job done. 3v4 already. Bomb going down. Starboys in a good position here. All three members coming through market. Spots one out. Good smoke. Puts them in a very difficult situation. They unironically, yep, they're just going to save the armor, I think. Out of position, no kit, full health, and it looks like none of them have taken damage. This is the prime 3 alive, buy cheap helmets and MP9 and see what you could do in the next round type of situation here. And as long as Starboys don't go hunting, looking for a little bit of damage, which actually may not even be a bad idea to at least pepper them to make sure that those helmets aren't free. But it's not the kind of thing you might think about in the moment, and everybody on Gozrain looks to be happy with staying alive. So we see. Indeed, the force buy coming in. No cheap helmets necessarily. Instead, just opting for a regular old force buy. Barbie going for that Deagle. Revan with that Scout. And Finn with the FAMAS, but R2B2's Deagle is the one that rings true. Finn now spots a player out, goes for the spray, makes his presence loud and clear. Barbie's got a kit alongside Finn. 2 kits on this kind of round. Very interesting decision to not go for some sort of alternate investment retake. Clearly the plan, and Revan with that trade, as well as Finn. A lot of potential here to win this round. Is down to Skofik in a 1-on-2. Does he know that there's a player on short just waiting for him to turn around? He does now, but that doesn't get the kill. It doesn't go either way, in fact. He has the balls to just stick the bomb down. And no peek may clue him into a reposition. He's got the better gun. And now he knows of the position of 1. But Revan was already towards there, so he may not yet realize. And now he should. Gets that first headshot. Skofik already showing a better face, but inhuman with that peek. Making sure nothing goes out of hand. And well played from Gozrain. Immediately rotating. Starboys not layering a complex enough round to make Gozrain worried about lurks towards B or mid presence. The 1D from R2, of course, going a long way towards contributing there. And so as soon as you start to praise Starboys for their aim and for their plays, it just doesn't pan out that way. Instead, it's Finn rushing on middle, farming a couple of pistols. I say farming, but that one didn't go as nicely as you would have hoped. There are still Deagles in play, even if they're on 3 health now, but can't take any frag for granted. Case in point, Revan nearly goes down there. Instead, it's HF. He doesn't even have the bomb yet, so not much he can do. The miracle he's still alive because there's nobody in CT to easily peek him. Sharpshooter. Low on health. That nade is going to kill him unless he jumps out of the way. Acrobat style. Gozrain keeping very many players alive. I'm not sure if there's an upgrade for any human to pick up. I don't think there is. So he'll stay on that MP9. And while this is still Starboy's map pick, it's not as dominant for them as it is for Gozrain on their map pick. Of course, we know that Gozrain can play Mirage. So the question is, how many rounds is enough for Starboys to actually make this one doable? The answer for that is I'd say around 7 to 8 maybe to guarantee it, but we'll see how good that CT side is. Sharp. True to his name, gets that first kill in middle, opens it up. Connector, not as open for business as you might think. Barbie goes for a peek, is afraid of the repercussions and falls back immediately. Though, he is going for the hide in the corner play. Nobody's in middle anymore, so this actually is only going to work out for the player above him in ladder. Finn has picked up Revan's AWP. Barbie indeed does go down. Sharp looks down. But in human, here is the final port of call. Round could still be won. He gets that kill. Finn also gets his own. But in human doesn't realize that there's another play going on. Now that they know where Finn is, this round is over. I say that, but Finn is already rotating. The Star Boys realize this and mind game him go short to B. It looks like that would be the case, but there is a chance, depending on how slow this goes, that Finn actually finds them. Finn, do you have the timing? You do have the timing, but you can't get the kill. Oh, I called him the Indian Nico many times, but just like the Indian Nico, he whiffs that AWP shot onto short. If you know, you know. And going for this retake, I mean, not advisable, but his position's being watched. He knows where one is. He can't get the frag, and now it's very awkward. Oh, every single opportunity missed. Finn, leave the OP to Revan, my friend. It seems like it's just not your day on that sniper. And well, that does bring him down to an MP9 in this round, but it doesn't mean that there's no chance. Mid control afforded. Skofik pushing through. Boost into ladder. Revan spots a player, gets that kill. Molotov didn't clear him out, and so he catches the player off guard. Doesn't catch the second one off guard, but there is a trade coming through. R2, no stranger to short. We'll see if he could reaggress. And indeed he does. Playing on a timing, catches him off guard. Barbie retreating just in time. Half a second away from dying there, but he makes it out. Now a 2-on-3 in human could still catch a very nice timing depending on when he peeks. The smoke doesn't even matter to him. He still sprays down the bomb. He gets retrieved, but that doesn't mean that Barbie can't get a 1 dig. Hold on. Skofik in a 1-on-2 now. 30 seconds. No bomb control, but he can retrieve it safely. He can retrieve. It's in front of you, my friend. You can retrieve it safely. He gets it down, step by step. This is looking winnable. Now, he didn't plant it for him, so if he retreats to A main, he may be in trouble, but he does have a Molotov. But the CTs have a smoke, so it's kind of a game of rock, paper, scissors here. And he's chosen instead to peek out into Inhuman and get taken down, so... Opportunities on either side, but... low health to begin with, needed the 1-tap and can't get it. So, God's Reign, staying competitive. Open AK carried over. And this time, just a couple of deagles. Digs into mid. We'll see if Finn gets 1-tapped again. He does actually get 1-tapped again, surprisingly enough. Usually you see Finn good for the spray down, but this time it's his teammates who are going to be doing the heavy lifting, taking care of that. Mid aggression, although Angel actually takes care of Barbie. This is a fairly expensive round for just a couple of pistols, and HF is in spawn. this could actually still get even more awkward. I'm not sure if they realize that he's in here, and I would say no, considering that Revan is just lackadaisically walking and running around. You could even get the knife here if you're brave about it. Where's the bomb dropped? Hold on. Inhuman should spot the bomb. I don't think Inhuman spotted the bomb. Hold on. Did he? We may never know. There's a minute left. HF has an AWP. And his position is supremely unknown. He could really be anywhere. Inhuman is guarding the bomb, so he's going to have to go that way first. But depending on when R2B2 chooses to move, HF could have a frag here. But this is a very uncomfortable kill to get with an AWP without making noise. And it looks like timing is going to be his enemy. He had an opportunity there. Scope didn't settle in time, and so it's still a very expensive round. It's not something that you should just be giving away 3 kills on just because a couple of deagles went into middle and caught you off guard. Good for the finances, but Starboys won't be able to do anything about it if they don't win a round now. It's about capitalizing, of course. Finn with the aggression. We'll see if HF is ready for this. When does Finn opt to peek in? R2 gets that first frag, and Finn's good to double down onto it, gets 2 in middle. There's a player in underpass, but Finn escapes. Smoke helps him evade. And now it's down to just Angel. And this could be a 5 alive situation. Molotov deep apps. That's how you know you've lost a round. You can't even retreat to spawn. Bomb out of his control. At least he can go frolic in the B bomb site. But not even afforded that opportunity. Taken down in underpass. 5 alive. No AWP, but they may not even need it. 5 AKs is just as terrifying. And again, Starboys no buy here. I doubt anybody would be caught off guard. Usually you'd be trying to get the drop on the AWP, but playing it safe, I think this would just be another simple round. I said the same thing when they got 3 kills on a deagle round before, but actually, hold on. Bobby is alone here. If he's got util out, dare I say it, and Finn again can't find the clean spray. Just hold M1, my friend. He gets it done. It's not clean, but the opponents are pistols, so he manages to get 3 by virtue of having the superior weapon. And the nade finishes the job. They get the bomb plant, which is more than they should have gotten, all things considered. 1 towards A, holding util alone. It's maybe not the best decision you could make, but all while it ends well, 6-2. Money is starting to really look stacked up on God's Reign's side. And I mean, this time the scales have been reversed. Skofik is the one fragging while Bloody and Sharpshooter are not really showing up. Open Angel. Out middle again. Angel goes for that peek. Is blinded, sees nothing. Players drop down. It's Rever with the AWP. Stuck between very many angles. Opts to retreat and is afforded that safe pathway. And the late regress into middle. Another smoke, another bit of aggression. HF probably looking to bounce that molly, but instead it hits a bit of geometry and doesn't go where it wants. And so they have mid control. They do have an A main lurk as well, which is probably going to be their point of pivot here. But R2 back in firebox here is probably not going to go clear. They don't have a Molotov to go for this specifically. I'd imagine Bloody's going to save this one for a more important angle, but doesn't realize the positioning that they have. In the meantime, Finn deals with that jungle aggress. Bomb is still kind of stuck here. Sharpshooter turns just in time. Could get even more kills. Doesn't control the spray. Angel doesn't have a clear line of sight towards anybody right now. And the bomb is still stuck towards Tetris. 3v4. There's 3 towards A, and R2 at this point in the round is definitely going to go uncleared. Bloody's out here spamming connector. There's nobody there. And R2 peeks at the right moment. HF gets 1, but it's too little too late. 1v2. Doesn't matter how messy that was. R2's positioning was the final thing that ended that round in God's Rain's favor. Another buy, but this time not so heavy on mid control. Only the one player looking to test it early. It's HF just throwing the usual. And this time, hold on, what's going on here? Inhuman spotting out players. Bavia and Revan, R2B2, it's all over the place. These kills are just happening everywhere on the map at the same time. Finn gets traded out in middle, and Human gets that kill. I don't know what I'm seeing here. But when it all comes down to it, nothing was in the favor of Starboys from beginning to end. 8-2. And it's AKs and Galils every single time, because lost bonus at this point is built up so much so they're basically just tilt buying. I mean, Scottfigure's got AK armor. That's the peak tilt buy. When you just have enough for AK armor, you know you should be buying utility, you know you should be making a game plan, but you're just thinking, well, I just need one headshot. I just need one good round. I'm back in there if I get one good round. And Scottfig, your opportunity is afforded to you now, but no helmet means that there's an instant headshot. Exactly what I'm talking about right there. You sacrifice that helmet, it comes back to bite you. Finn goes 1 for 1, 2 still on this site. Revan makes good on it. It's HF alone now. He has the bomb, it's a 1-on-3, knows Revan somewhere on the site. He's up on that bench, obscured by the smoke, makes his get away. 1-on-3, all of them are towards his right side. If he had that kill right there, it could have been a discussion. But instead it's a full stop. And I mean, this screams of desperation that Starboys know they're outclassed on this map. Individual confidence completely shot. God's Rain dominant on the half. You wouldn't expect anything to change when the side swap either. And indeed, that continues to be the case. Revan continues to just get 1-by-1 picks. Bavi pushes up, doubles down. Bloody and HF. I mean, you have map control, but what are you going to do with it? You're separated. You don't even get that kill. Instead, you're going to get reaggressed from connector, no doubt. Not prepared for it. Actually, he sees the player, but his teammate goes down in the process. And the bomb is dropped towards the top of middle. It's not discovered, but it doesn't seem to matter. 10-2. And you can see the frag distribution tells the entire story. This is just team diff, to put it in no uncertain terms. And it's been nothing but 2-0s the entire day. Every semi-final has been a 2-0, and at this rate, the grand final is looking to deliver much the same. Not that we didn't expect God's Rain to be dominant, but at the very least, it would have been nice to see Starboys put up a bit more of a fight. Not that it's all over, it's just mostly over. Skoffic looking to change the narrative, pushing on his own, but Inhuman ready to receive. And even though the bomb is revealed by that play, it's not as if that much actually helps. The boost in, Finn, good for 2. And it's at the point in the game where you start getting away with unreasonable plays just because you know that you can get away with boosting into middle and getting 2 frags where one should be just the maximum that you get there. It should be traded. It's an unorthodox angle, and yet it's just where it all ends. Finn 15-8, Revan 15-7. The stars shining bright. And much like Star Wars, the twin suns shining brightly here. Four MP9s and a Deagle. Not content to let it go to 12-2. They want to buy now. They want to buy what little they can. HF's Deagle immediately dead. Skofik probably just going to go through this smoke at a certain timing. Nobody's looking for it, so he may actually find the frag. But there's more than one here, so even if he gets one, it'll be an immediate trade. Right idea on one. His teammate actually helps him out here. Bloody should be able to help him out on the regress. It's not the cleanest angle, but it works out for him. It's a 2-on-1 now. R2's got the post plant. This could be the clutch that ends Starboys' hopes. But HF, or rather Skofik, finishes that one off. Seems to be no need for a tech timeout. We're right back into the action, but no buy yet. It's just going to be a straight waterfall out palace. Sharpshooter to receive. Will he be caught out like Barbie was? Flash does well. Playing for his own defensive status. Knows that there's a player pushing towards CT. Is ready to receive it. And nothing comes out from it. Finn alone with a Glock. That's all she wrote in this round. It's as good a start as you could hope for. Bar the pistol, of course, but they have money now. Not that money is their issue, of course, but one could easily see them coming through with something else. Sharpshooter on this side, hold too many targets, can't even get the one. And now it's a 4v2, God's Rain. As soon as the guns come out, it's nothing but God's Rain. Skofik spots the head of a player, it's a labored spray again. And he can only get one before he's pushed on an HF, probably just going to save. Might try something a little bit cheeky. After all, even if they lose this one, you'll have enough money for a full buy and... well, you've only got one round to play with. So, put up your strongest fight.
Terrorists win.
One round away from God's Rain, taking it all. Nothing but dominant performances from God's Rain this entire time. Even on that map where they were tested, it was a dominant half into staving off a comeback back in that semi-final. It's no longer a matter of the guns, it's a matter of motivation at this point. Starboys are completely out of steam, and HF at least has the balls to make this kind of push. Here's the info, but he spotted out. Oh, he does well to get one. All things considered. Angel, I mean, this is a ballsy play. Rewarded for it. He gets that kill onto Finn. Clearly didn't expect the AWPer to just swing straight, but his teammates are falling around him, and Sharpshooter, this kill probably decides the round. He gets it, and it's still on. But now they know that there's nobody towards B. Angel makes the only play that could win them the round here. Oh, they spotted each other. It's AWP on AWP, and Revan was there first, so this could be the beginning of the end. We'll see how well Sharpshooter can make this clutch look possible. One of the better players over here, but he can't even get the first frag. And there you have it, God's Rain once again. For what I believe is the 5th time in a row. if not more, are your Dust2 India Masters champions. Consistent from beginning to end, only one map where they were truly tested. God's Range showcased that they are still the best team in the region. It's a good fight from Starboys, an unexpected grand finalist, and they did well to upset Victoria Swimmers in the other semi-final, but when it comes up against the best team in the region, there's only so much you can do. They showcased good firepower, but as soon as the games got a little bit longer, as soon as it became a little bit more difficult, the rounds were over and done with. And there you have it. Congratulations to God's Reign once again. Commiserations to Starboys. As always, I've been your host, caster, commentator, observer, broadcast manager, everything in between. Shout out to, of course, Dust2I for facilitating everything, for allowing me to bring you the action. I hope to be here once again next month for yet another dose of the best of Indian Counter-Strike. Until then, I've been backpackbrain. You've been watching the Dust2 India Masters. And thank you for watching. We'll see you in approximately a month. And we hope to continue to showcase the best of Indian Counter-Strike and the rise of the region. Not just Indian Counter-Strike, of course. The entire region, as we've seen the Pakistani team make it to the grand final. Anything is possible. The level is rising. Competitiveness is continuing to increase, and I hope to bring it to you every step of the way. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.